Okay, I'm going to go out and try to catch my buddies. I should give them names, like Rudolph, Blitzen. But I came out a couple seconds ago. I was tearing down my area so I could go inside the house. It's getting a little cool. And then I told myself a long time ago, when I come outside, I want to have my camera with me. But this is why. One, it's two. And here, for a minute, this one has 3. All right, so there goes one. Or this deer or doe or whatever you call them has 1. Okay, let's see how this goes. I'll leave this here. And that way I can continue with my breakdown because they're not concerned with me at all. It's feeding time. There goes mama. There goes a mama. You know how they do. They follow the mama. There's still one down there. You could see him. For a long time, even though they're a family of 4, for a long time you would only see 2 of them, or 3 of them, one mama and the 2 babies, and eventually, there you go, you started seeing all 3 of them again. I do realize that one of them was, he always lagged behind. I don't care what they were doing on any side of the street, on this side or on this side. This is a little trail that they go down. If you look over here, where's my camera? If you look over here, you'll see the little trail they go down. But you know how mankind is. They put a rope across there or something, try to hold up their weeds. I don't know about these non-melanated people and their weeds. But anyway, I digress. So, they also go up here past this house, and right here, they jump up the wall. There's a wall there. And behind that, it's the most beautiful little garden that the person who lives in this house maintains. So he's partially retired, but he is very handy. So you could see his house here, but what you can't see is back here behind there is he built a garage that looks just like this house. Okay, and it's amazing how some people can do stuff like that. I can't do it. All right, so anyway, let me just take a moment to go ahead and share something else, because I don't want to have a 2 or 3 minute video, because you're busy. Okay, but again, if you look at the skyline, I've said this before, if you look at the skyline in the evening at sunset, when you're supposed to be sun gazing, I digress. It has a yellow sun. So, oops, hello. The sun is yellow. And I wish I had to push that button when the deer were here. It's a man thing, and we do push buttons. And I throw myself out of more videos that way by trying to turn the screen around. So, let me see. Oh, holy moly, that's bright. All right, so anyway, I like to take the moment to encourage people at the present moment, or at the time that I'm going through my little spiel here, because If you were a blind man sitting on the side of the road and if Jesus shows up, you call him Jesus, I call him Hamashiach. If he shows up, then you know this is a good time to receive your sight back. But it will happen suddenly. And this is how it is in the kingdom. When you get a blessing, if you're in the kingdom of light, when you get a blessing, it's usually suddenly. So, for example, the blind guy was sitting on the side of the road, and he wasn't exactly expecting to see Hamashiach come walking past. I mean, he might have heard that he was in the area, but he's a blind guy. Jesus could have walked right past him. I digress. So, right here, full stop on that. Right here where all these wires are, just above them, like right here, oopsie, like right here. Where's that little finger at? All right, right above them, like in here somewhere, I saw a TR3B, and it wasn't going over me like this. It was just sitting there, not perpendicular, but horizontal. And it had your typical 3 lights, and the 4th light in the middle did show up, but the 3 lights that were present seemed like they made a flash toward the middle, and it looked like it took my picture. Basically, I got the distinct impression that this thing just took my picture. So anyway, if people are talking about seeing UFOs or whatever, you can believe them. You might not be able to believe all of them, but you can believe some of them, because I did, because it happened to me. Okay, so it'll happen to you. You just keep living. Don't say, don't be dismissive and call people crazy just because it's something that you don't understand, just because it's something that hasn't happened to you. Okay? Stay flexible. It is not clear what you shall be, but in the end, you shall be like him. And I don't know about you, but that's what I would like to have. All right, so anyway, I want to take the moment to encourage you guys to whatever level you're on, there's no sense in giving up. If you're depressed, or if you're having problems with grief and stuff like that, most people who overcome these types of things, without, unaliving themselves, it's because they found the answer, all right, that pulled them through, all right. Everybody grieves differently, but sometimes, people get overwhelmed with grief, and I just don't want you to get overwhelmed with grief if you don't have to. I grieved for my blessed mother and my blessed father and my blessed grandparents and my blessed aunts and uncles and nieces and nephews and stuff. All right, but fortunately for me, I didn't have an opportunity to get overwhelmed, because just a little bit of whelm that I had, that was significant enough for me to be like, oh, geez, I don't think I want to go into the overwhelming thing. It's kind of like if you're in a relationship and it ends and you weren't ready for that relationship to end. Sheesh. And then you have to respectfully or cordially come out of that relationship, but your heart is breaking at the same time. Holy moly. Well, be of good cheer. You get into another relationship. And even better, if you don't get into another relationship, what you do is you become content with yourself. The Bible says it like this. If you are single, do not desire to be married. And if you're married, do not desire to be single. So you're going to have one of these two desires. Heaven forbid if you should have them both at the same time. I digress. Rabbit trail. All right. So once you can identify what the problem is, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but the cicadas are here. Because I'm pretty sure that's louder than a cricket. So if you keep listening, eventually you'll hear the cicada. This is all trees, all wooded. So, that's kind of where they like to go. Which I'm glad, because if they like to come to the porch, I would be in trouble. All right. But anyway, full stop on that. So I want you to not give up. Now, full stop on that. If you prayed for something and you feel like you're not getting your prayers answered, well, I found that the fastest way for me to get my prayers answered is to look for the answer. That doesn't make the answer get to me more speedily, but when the answer does arrive, it's coming to where I am. All right. So if you want your prayers answered, you want to be where you're supposed to be. All right. You can't be in, like, a lightning strikes at a certain spot. Okay. So you want to be in that spot when your answer comes, kind of like lightning. So lightning doesn't strike and then go looking for somebody to strike. All right. Well, it's the same thing with prayers. So what it will do is it won't come find you, but it'll go. Your answer will come to where you're supposed to be. Now, this is how you determine, or this is how I determine. This is not pastoral advice. If you need a pastoral advice, seek yourself a competent pastor. All right, I'm just an old man talking, and I want to give you a heads up on some of the things that may help you, because either way it goes, whether you find yourself on a similar path as I'm on, or you're on your own path, you're not going to reach your destination any faster because of something that somebody said, or because you decided that you can speed up the process or something. I don't know. But if there was something that you are supposed to be doing in the kingdom of heaven, you're going to do that. If you were created with a purpose, and if you don't know what you were created for, you've been very severely distracted. Okay? And this happens to all of us. We have, our whole lives are full of distractions. Okay? We got TV, we got commercials, we got relationships, we got newborns, so we got all kinds of stuff that kind of takes us off our path, off of our purpose. But you sort of know in the back of your head, well, after the kids get grown and they're moved out, then I'll go back and follow my passion, whatever your passion was. Women are kind of, in my view, in my opinion, they tend to put their careers and their aspirations aside for the sake of the family. All right. Now, men do it too, but they just don't do it the way women do. Okay. So, comparatively speaking, a man might move or leave a job so that he can be closer to home, spend more time with the kids, take a job with less responsibilities, and probably make less money. But the woman, in my opinion, women will stop everything they're doing so that they can nurture the child. All right, so this is why you have to take care of them, because what you want to do is encourage her to be the best that she could be, because those are your kids that she's raising, or those are your kids, or when I say your, I mean the plural you. Okay. Now, I want to give you all a heads up. I'm going to do a remix of a video that I just seen. And it was beautiful. It was short and it was to the point, and it's one of those things where when I push buttons, what I was trying to do was freeze it. But every time I pushed the button, it did some other kind of function. So it was a short or a tweet or something, and as long as it's playing, you can't freeze it. All right, it's not like a video where you could freeze it and copy the screen or something. I don't know. So that particular moment got away from me. I told myself while I was not distracted over time that if you see something and it's inspirational, share it. And I'm trying to share it to my page, and then that way I can refer to it, my Facebook page or my YouTube page. It depends on the share arrow where your share is actually going to go. Sometimes you hit the share arrow and it goes to your messages, or sometimes you can hit the share arrow and it'll go to your Facebook page, okay, or your Twitter page. So anyway, I'm kind of a novice with all this, even though I've been on YouTube doing videos since they started. So, but I was distracted. Okay, I didn't mind doing the videos at work, but it wasn't part of my purpose. It was just part of my purpose to get familiar with it and tweak it a little bit. And then as time went on, I got consumed with Facebook. So I kind of fell off the endeavor with the YouTubes. Like, for example, going live. You young people may not know this, but when they first came up with YouTube, you could just push the button and go live on YouTube. Now you got to do all kinds of stuff. I'm like, whatever. I mean, you can do a live video on your cell phone, but you can't do a live video on your desktop. They just... One thing I want to tell you, young people, is whenever you come up with these bright ideas and stuff like that, when you're in the corporate meetings and stuff, what you're actually doing is going to affect you. The changes and stuff that you're trying to come up with the best ideas so you can get a promotion, you're going to be subjected to those decisions. So what you want to do is you want to make decisions and suggestions that will benefit you. Maybe not now, but if they had made decisions in the past where you could do a YouTube live video on both your cell phone and on your desktop, okay, then they wouldn't have to go through the rigmarole, or you won't have to go through the rigmarole that you suggested. Okay, so for example, if you go to a court, do you know that the judge is supposed to make decisions that benefit you as the defendant? Did you know that? Okay, but they do tend to make a decision that benefits the prosecutor. This is why the prosecutor gets so upset when the judge actually does make a decision that benefits you. But that's the judge's job, okay? But people don't know that. And the judge, he's just going to reach a point where I guess I can make some money. People like that, they're all about money. They're not about right or wrong. This is why cops can get off for shooting somebody or unaliving somebody. It's right there on the live video what that last guy did, and they're going to try to find a way to show that, and the judge will probably have to go for that. Okay, but the judges actually put themselves in that position, and they can do better. But the one who has the best presentation is the one that actually wins. There was some type of shootout in a neighborhood near me, and there were 5 people who didn't end up doing so swell. So, the pops were called because a lot of times in our neighborhoods, if you hear a gunshot, you're like, oh, call 911. That's the first thing you do. Instead of going out there and see. But, people are afraid. But anyway, um, so what happens, even though it's a shots fired call, the officers may not get there right away. So in between the shots being fired, this young man parks his car in front of his house. And the shots being fired were over, but by the time the citizens on patrol got there, the only person they saw was him. So that didn't go so swell for him because he didn't go home. He was parked right in front of his house, coming from work, pursuing the American dream, which is a lie. But anyway, I digress. Oh, the reason why I'm still showing you these like this is because I can't turn the screen around. If I push the button to try to turn the screen around, it stops the video, and then I have to start another one or do a part 2 or something. So anyway, that's why I'm doing that. All right. So fortunately for that young man of color, he had a good lawyer where he just basically presented the evidence, and the evidence was more overwhelming than the police complaint or the citizens on patrol's complaint. All right, and he got off, but doesn't always work that way. They say that there are innocent people in jail, and it it's probably true. We believe that everybody who's in jail would proclaim that they're innocent, but a lot of them are innocent. I want you to follow the Deprogrammed Enlightener on YouTube. He also has another channel on YouTube called Kahan Tazadak Shah. All right, since it's a Hebrew thing, it's spelled and enunciated the way it's spelled the way it's enunciated. Kahan, Kahan. Tazadak, Tazadak. Shah, Shah. All right. If you're a Hebrew, you find the significance in words. Okay. Which are pretty much straightforward, but in legalese and stuff like that, those words are not straightforward. They're legal words. So if you say it's a colorable court, well, legally that means one thing, but on the common vernacular, it means something else. So that's kind of how they get you. But I want you to listen to this young man as he shares his experiences, and maybe you can benefit from that. All right? So the judge is supposed to make decisions that will benefit you, and the young man channel will show you how to give instructions so that you can benefit from it. All right, but it is not, if it's a colorable court, it's not designed for you to be protected. It isn't designed for you to benefit from it. So anyway, I digress. I hope I said something that'll get your interest, okay? And make you go find out. Go learn something new. Learn something new every day, or stay home. All right, you're just getting in the way. Okay? So anyway, full stop on that. Before I went down that rabbit trail, I was trying to talk about the young people and this video that I tried to share. So President Putin, what he decided to do was show people a what is it when you find something? Let me see, an artifact that was showing that the disciples were people of color. Okay, and that kind of threw a monkey wrench. I like some of the memes where after he had did that, the memes were showing non-melanated people and their responses. It was hilarious. Okay. So anyway, but I did know a long time ago that the Pope did have or does have a photo or a photo. Now, it can't be a photo. It has to be a painting. But he does have in his prayer room or something a photo of a black Madonna and a black Hamashiach. So, most people know. It's just the common people don't know about it, especially the common melanated person may not know that. But be of good cheer. The younger melanated people got the Bible now, and these things are being revealed. Which there is a point in the Old Testament where it says, seal up the secrets of the Bible, and in the last days make the knowledge known. So they're kind of doing that now a little bit. So I'm happy with that. Let me see. Let me change the environment a little bit here so I don't drive you, make you dizzy. That's my baby, 2004 Jeep Grand Cherokee. I don't know how many miles it has, but it has 225,000, and I'm pretty sure that joker turned over 2 or 3 times. That's a nice car. I really liked it. All right, so anyway, you could tell I like it because I buy new seat covers for it. Hello. I found a place where you can buy auto parts right from the yard, and if you need like a front seat, you can go there and you can go buy the front seat and they'll charge you $50 or $60. So I finally found that spot. My problems is I used to just go and pay a dealer or pay AutoZone or something like that there for the parts that then I needed. But now that I found about this particular spot, and there are other places where you can buy auto parts incredibly inexpensively. I brought a 4 oxygen sensors, and I paid approximately $41 for them. But when I went to AutoZone and tried to buy a couple, they were like, okay, well, it's $92 for one. Okay. So anyway, times are changing. I'm finding that the people who have had all the blessings and stuff all their lives, they call them like the middle class or whatever. I'm not picking on the middle class, but just trying to give you an example that you could see. They are starting to let go of some of them benefits and ways of doing business. And the common people are able to benefit from it as well. So, for example, they have this one website. It's called Temu, Temu, and you can find anything you need on there, basically. All right. So, but we didn't always have that type of information made available to us, but or predecessors, or whatever you call them. I'm not a professional, but they knew about it, and they were gatekeepers. They weren't telling everybody else about it. You know what I'm saying? So I digress. Maybe they just kept it from me. I don't know, or maybe I wasn't looking. Maybe I was distracted doing something else. I always, as an empathetic person or as an empath, I'll try to fix a situation by removing myself from it. I can always see the part that makes me the antagonist in a situation. So, hey, All right, so full stop on that. So let's get back to the purpose of this video. Um, so I saw this beautiful picture. Um, the young man said, or had typed in, most people will scroll past this, but it took me 50 hours to paint this. And I got the distinct impression that that was a painting of a melanated Christ. We call him Hamashiach. You guys call him Christ. To wake up, smell the coffee. Putin's trying to tell you. Anyway, I digress. You are on your journey, and you're going to reach this sort of stuff on your own. All right. So, or you'll reach this kind of information on your own. When you're being led and guided by the Ruach HaKodesh, she'll let you know when you're ready for it. You know what I'm saying? All right, all right. All right, so what I'm doing is, see that little light down there? There's an airport over there. Now, this little light, if that's a plane with the light like that, it's supposed to be coming toward me for it to be that bright. So he either was coming this way and turned. I think now you could see, where'd he go? Where'd he go? As you can see, he's no longer coming toward me, and it just disappeared. So he was either holding in a pattern, because there is an airport over there. He was either in a holding pattern and he was doing that type of move, but that particular light is gone. So anyway, watch the skies, young people. All right, we're coming to a point now in time that there's going to be a lot of stuff happening in the sky. So you want to pay attention to that. All right, and don't shut down any possibilities, especially the ones about the UFOs and the UAPs, because they're finally letting us know that these things are real. So if you want to know what you can do about it, well, you're going to have to be on a different team. You don't want to be on the team that doesn't know what to do about these kinds of things, or sit back and wait. Because the people that you're going to follow, they don't know what to do about these sorts of things either. But you're going to wait to hear from them. So basically, you don't want to take your cues from the kingdom of darkness, the father of lies. You want to take your cues from the kingdom of light, here, the kingdom of heaven here on earth. You want to go with people who are telling you what's going to happen, and I want you to listen to them quickly, because they'll prepare you. So the kingdom of the father of lies, they might not prepare you, but the kingdom of heaven here on earth, they may try to prepare you for something. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. Hey, neighbor, I want to go home now and drink some beer. Thank you. Okay. All right, so I want you to listen to the more positive things, just so you can know what to do. All right, because if you wait till the last minute, it just isn't going to go so swell for you. And what kills me is people have been telling these things for quite a while. So for me, I'm quite prepared for World War III. All right, so I am as prepared as anybody can be for something happening out of the clear blue sky. Or at least I have some sort of preparation, but if you're not kind of prepared, you're going to be in the way and you're going to become a victim. So you want to protect yourself. I use archangels and the protection that they provide. I use the Ruach HaKodesh and the leading and guiding and that he gives. Okay, or it's a spirit, or the spirit of the Ruach HaKodesh, and the spirit and the leading and guiding that the spirit of the Ruach HaKodesh gives. All right, so if I do that, then If I say it that way, then I don't have to worry about, oh, how do you know it's a he? Oh, Lord. Same thing with God. I don't know that God is a he, but others have called him Father, and I'm kind of comfortable with that. But everybody knows who knows anything about God. God is a spirit, and you worship him. You must worship him in spirit and in truth. Okay? All right, so full stop on that. Somebody needed to hear it, and they needed to hear it just now. So let's go back to this kid with this painting. He looked like a kid, but that's because he didn't have any hair on his face. I'll tell you one thing. If you want to get a true feeling of the person that has reached the age where they could have hair and stuff on their face, I want you to understand that when they don't shave, they look way different than they do when they're clean shaven and stuff like that there. So, well, I mean, that clean shaven part, that's just a, oh boy, it's makeup. And we understand that the way we learned about makeup, and, because like the Neanderthals and stuff like that, they probably didn't shave. So you get the idea. You guys are adults. All right. So anyway, so what he did, what was he started his video that had the caption on it. Most people will scroll past this, but it took me 50 hours to complete. And if you're using your right brain, if something takes you 50 hours, it's because your right brain is thinking about your art all the time. Your left brain, if you're analytical, it thinks about step one, it thinks about which step you're on, step two, step three, all right, all the time. All right, you're always trying to make something better or make something worse. All right, so you look at life through steps. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so what the young man did was, since he had his back to the camera, he turned around slowly and he had this picture of Hamashiach. Now, I couldn't tell if it was the melanated Hamashiach or the non-melanated Hamashiach because I was looking at it on my cell phone. And then from my attempts to freeze it so that I could open up the screen, where, how you put your fingers on there and you get a bit bigger picture. I just ended up scrolling to the next video. And the thing about pushing buttons, eventually I just couldn't get back to that. But be of good cheer, I have been helped by the archangels and stuff. And I'm able to, I'll come across it again. All right, maybe not within the next 10 or 15 minutes, but eventually I'll come across it again. Now, this is the reason why I'm telling you this story. I'm going somewhere, stick with me. It's because it says in the last days that your children, and this is to the believers or partial believers or whatever you are, non-believer or whatever, it says that in the last days that the children will turn you in. Now, be of good cheer. That's for the kingdom of darkness people. But for the kingdom of light people, all right, their children will be doing something different. Like, for example, in the last days, he's going to turn the hearts of the fathers to the children and the hearts of the children to the parents, blah, blah, blah. But the kingdom of darkness ones, they don't get that. They get the other prophecy that says their kids will turn them in. All right. So it dawned on me in a moment of inspiration that when I saw this and putting together what Putin had done, I think what will happen is, since this young non-melanated person came up with that particular photo, the elders or the ones who raised him, and believing that the Hamashiach was non-melanated, they're not going to accept that photo. All right? So But the children are grasping that. All right? The sons and daughters are grasping that. They'll grasp it faster. They'll grasp it faster than the older ones who are set in their ways. All right, will do. That's basically what's happening. People just aren't going to change, especially the people in the kingdom of darkness. They're not changing. Ignorance is bliss, and they're just as blissful as, oh, I don't know. All right, so be of good cheer. We got your back, but you're going to have to learn something new. You can't just go with the kind of understanding like this. Kind of understand it like this. You can take your car to the mechanic. You can go in and where the mechanic is. And the goal is for you to get your car fixed. But the problem is just because you're in the garage with the mechanic, you're not a mechanic. So it's kind of the same thinking or line of thinking or way of thinking if you are going to a church that doesn't make you a Christian. All right? It's just like going into a garage and you're not a mechanic. Well, I mean, you can tell them what's wrong, so you mechanically are inclined that way, but you know how we describe the problems with the cars. Well, whenever I go 55 miles per hour, it goes clunk, 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 clunk. You know what that tells the mechanic when you describe it like that? Oh, geez, this is $1,000 repair. You know what I'm saying? And I tell you why they do that, because of the description you gave, they're going to have to, after you leave, they're going to have to get in your car and risk their lives to see if they can replicate that. If they could replicate that sound. And the problem is that's called hazard duty pay. Hello. But anyway, I digress. So I hope I said something in the end that made you laugh, because I like to leave people laughing. So be of good cheer. You may be lost now, but you're going to find your way. And in the kingdom of darkness, the deceiver goes about seeking who he can destroy. But in the kingdom of light, he will leave the 99 to go find the one. And I just want you to know, you are the one. You can overcome depression. You can overcome grief. You can do any of that. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You just need a little bit of help. And the only reason why you need any help at all is because you were distracted. You were born into a world of sin. Look at it like sin means miss. If you are a archer, and if you aim at a target, and if you miss that target altogether, they call that a sin. All right, so kind of look at it like that. If you're too afraid to look at yourself as a sinner, why would God put us down here? And if he, knowing that we were going to be sinners, or blah blah blah, you get it. All right. Once you get a relationship with him, you're going to find that that's not what it means at all. What it means is you've been lied to, and you've been deceived and distracted. Okay? And you think that you are a sinner. All right? So, anyway, follow the kingdom of light, okay? Fall into it. If you can't follow it, you can fall into it. You can fall into anything. You can fall into a trap. All right? That's what the deceiver does. He puts all these traps out here, and just the nature of a trap is you don't know where it is. All right. Love ya. See ya.